ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महाबलान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 79, verse number 29. So in the previous class we read about Balramji's pilgrimage. So he went in the clockwise direction, going down south from the eastern coast, then coming up to the western coast. And he heard on the way that Mahabharata war has come to an end and all the kings are dead. So he went there on the last day when Bhima and Duryodhana were already engaged in club fight. And he advised them not to fight, but they did not listen. So this is where we left. Now it says, Dishtam tadanu manvano Ramo dvaravatim yayo ugrasenadibhi pritair gyatibhi sampagata. So dishtam tadanumanvano. He thought that this is because of their fate, this related to the club fight between Bhima and Duryodhana. So this is what he is considered, that they are not taking my advice. So this is the fate of these people, and there is nothing much which can be done. So he left from there and he returned to Dwarka, because his 1 year was over. Remember, he was asked to go around 1 year for killing Ramharshana. There he was received very nicely by Ugrasena and all other Yadavas, because Krishna was not there. So all the family members, they happily received him and got the news. Sadishtam Sri Krishneneva Adishta Tat Pravartitam. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments on the word dishtam as adishtam. Dishtam is used for fate, dishtam dheyam bhagdheyam. So, but he uses the word dishta for adishta. Adishta means to instruct. So he says that he considered it to be dishta means as an instruction of Krishna that they should fight, and therefore he didn't want to interrupt, he left. Tam punarnaimisham praptam rishyo yajayan muda kratuvangam kratubhi sarvai nivritta akhila vigraham. And then he went to Naimisharanya again from there. He wanted to see the yajna. So tam punar naimisham praptam. So when he arrived there, all the sages, they worshipped him. So he was given a very well, good reception. Kratiyangam kratubhi sarvai. So he was worshipped with yajna because he is yajna murti, yajna purusha. And by now he was nivritta akhila vigraham. He has retired from all fighting. So no more fighting. All that is done because everybody is cleaned out. Kratuangam yajna murtim. So Kratuanga means yajna murti or personification of the yajna. Tebhyo vishuddha vijnanam bhagavan vyatarad vibhuhu enevatmani yado vishvamatmanam vishvagam viduhu. So then he instructed to the sages on pure philosophy, transcendental knowledge, Vijnana. So Vibhu is powerful, all-pervading. Yeneva atmani yado vishvam atmanam vishvagam vidu. By which knowledge one sees that everything is inside him. He is Vishvagam. He is personified Vishva. Everything is including oneself. So yeneva jnanena atmani paramatmani adhisthano vado vishva. So he gave the knowledge by which one sees this universe being situated in the Supreme Being, Paramatma. And Atmanam Paramatmanam cha Vishvagam Vishvadhishtitam Vidhi. And sees the Atma and Paramatma. They are Vishvaga, they are in the Vishva. And he is pervading in everything. Vishvaga means Vishvadhishtitam, pervading the Vishva, universe. Swapatnya bhrita snato jnati bandhu suhrid vritaha reje jvajotsne vinduhu Suvasa Srishthvalankrita. Then after the yajna was over, he was given the ceremonial bath along with his wife Revati Devi, while he was surrounded by all the friends and family members, because he is accompanied by them. He did not go alone. This time he went with his wife and also other relatives. So they all gave him the Avbhrit Snan. Then he was given nice dress, ornaments, and he appeared like moon, spreading his light all around. Idrig vidhaniya sankhyaani balasya balashalinah anantasya prameyasya maya martyasya santihi. So now he concludes this chapter and says that there are innumerable pastimes like this of Balram, who is very powerful. That's why his name is Bala. And he is unlimited and immeasurable, anantasya prameyasya, and he is manifest by his own internal potency. So there are unlimited pastimes which he performed. These are some of them. The word Maya, he says Maya Swarupena. That Maya here means his Swarup Shakti. Martyasya Swarup Bhutya Nitya Shaktaya Mayakya Yuta iti Sruta. So he is manifest as a human being by his Swarup Shakti, which is eternal. So therefore he is described here as Maya. Martya, but he is Amartya. Martya is used for mortal, but he appears like that. Yo anusmarayata ramasya karmani adbhut karmanaha sayam prataranantasya vishnu sadaito bhavet. Anyone who remembers the wonderful activities performed by Sri Balram morning and evening, he gets the blessings of Lord Vishnu, becomes very dear to him. Vishnu's tadanujasya Krishnasya. So Vishnu here means Krishna, who is his younger brother of Balram. So Krishna is very pleased and then he blesses such a person. And this is the end of this chapter. Iti sarartha darshinyam harshanyam bhakta chetasam ekona siti tamo dasme ajani sangata. So end of commentary on chapter 79 of 10th canto. Now comes chapter number 80. So Sri Raja Vacha Purushottam Prabhu, who is that? Param Karuna ji. You have any question?
Yes, Maharaji. Dandavat Pranam, Babaji Maharaj. My question is, in general, I had this question for a while. Could you please, say something or share some light on why is Balramji so, or shows affection to Duryodhana so much?
Because he was his disciple. He studied from him.
But still, he did so many wrong activities, so many sinful activities to Pandavas who were, even though Pandavas were very dear to Lord Krishna, but at least, they were pious people.
Well, it was already said that.
Outright.
It was already said that he was Madhyastha. He was not involved in all this. And you have to understand that there are always two sides to everything. So you see it from one side, he is seeing it from other side. When you have a soft heart towards some person, then you see that person in a different light than when you don't have that soft heart. So if he was against him that much like Krishna, he will probably not teach him, because he is also their relative. Even Krishna gave him his army, although he favored the Pandavas because they chose him. But he was not out. Krishna was also not outright against Duryodhana. He behaved, but externally he was not biased. Although Duryodhana tried to catch him and bind him, put him in prison, all that. But still. So mainly because Duryodhana went and studied from him, and he must have done service to him to please him. It's not that he just was studying, he must have pleased him with his good character. See, the thing is that when we have bad feelings towards a person, we think that that person is bad for everybody. But that person is having multi-sides. The way he will behave with his wife, children, family, friends, it's not the same way he behaves with those who consider him their enemy. So Duryodhana would have behaved very nicely with Balram. And maybe has also, if at all there was a talk about his behavior towards Pandavas, he may have given some explanation from his angle. He may have said that actually I deserve to be the king and my father was unnecessarily put aside just because he is blind. Because actually it was Dhritarashtra who was elder to Pandu, but because he was blind, so he could not become the king. So we don't know what all he did. And favoring, he has not done anything to favor him. Okay, he just wanted them to stop fighting, but he has not shown some excessive favor. Rather, when he went to get Samba released, he was very angry at all of them, including Duryodhana. He wanted to take the whole city and put it in Yamuna, Ganga. He already started pulling it. So, to say that he was favoring him, I think is a little bit overstatement. Maybe he had some soft corner.
The incident or the point that mainly comes to mind, Maharaj, is he wanted to marry Subhadra Devi to Duryodhana.
Yeah, because of that only.
In marriage.
Yeah, for that reason only, because he is disciple. And he was a king. Arjuna was not a king. Who does not want to marry their sister to a king instead of somebody just like that? Arjuna will never become a king because he has elder brother. He has two of them actually. So he is thinking like that my sister should be married to a great king. Duryodhana was a great king. It's not that he was an ordinary person. He was very powerful, big fighter, strong man. His problem was that he was against Pandavas. And Arjuna's friendship was there with Krishna. So he has his own personality. He also got upset with Krishna. We read that. He left him. Okay.
Thank you, Babaji Maharaj. Thank you very much.
So Sri Raja Uvacha, the king asked, Bhagavan yani cha anyani Mukundasya Mahatmanaha Viryani Ananta Viryasya Shrotum Icchamahe Prabhu. So King Parikshit inquired from Sri Shukdev. He said that, O Bhagavan, O Prabhu, I want to hear more activities, pastimes, what you have explained, some others other than this of Mukunda, Viryani Ananta Viryasya, because he is of unlimited prowess. So this is my wish, that I hear more and more. So after the end of the previous chapter, probably Shukdev was stopping, coming to an end of Krishna stories. So Parikshit said, I want to hear more. So therefore he pleads with Shukdev Goswami to speak. Sri Vishwanath says, Ashiti tame ayatah Shridama harinarchita saprem prishta uktacha katha gurukula ashraya. So in this chapter number 80, there is a description of Sudama's arrival to Dwarka and how Sri Krishna honored him, and with great love he asked him about his well-being, and the discussion of their days in the Gurukula, because so many years have passed now. So they talked about their school days. He Prabho tani shrotum ichchama iti anvaya. So he says that, O Prabhu, I want to hear those stories. So it is interesting how he is breaking the word ichchamahe. So he breaks this shrotum ichchama, he Prabhu, instead of ichchamahe, because ichchamahe is like lat lakar, no, lot lakar. So instead of that he makes it simple ichchama. Only thing is what happens to the visarga. Ichchama iti anvaya, that means his reading has visarga, ichchama, he Prabhu, that's how he had. And now in the book we have ichchamahe. So konu shrutva skrid brahman uttama shloka satkatha virameta visheshagyo vishanna kama marganaihi. So he says that who is that person who will stop hearing the wonderful activities of Uttam Sloka, O Brahmana, especially who is Visheshagya, means who knows who he is. Vishanna karma marganahi. So, person who is Vishanna means who is dejected because of the arrows of kama. So who is that person who would like to stop hearing from these kathas of Krishna? Asakrit api srutva, even after hearing them repeatedly, nanu viramanto api bhavo drishyante. So if someone says, but we see that there are many people who do stop hearing these pastimes, not that they want to hear them again and again. Tatraha visheshagya iti nirvishesha tattva jnanina eva viramanto. So he says those who stop, they are nirvisheshagya, not visheshagya. They are the one who stop, who who are only interested in Brahman and not in Bhagavan, so they are the one who stop, but not those who know him. Kincha nityanubhuyaman dukkha dhvansarthamapi viramitum na yujyate ityaha vishanna. Moreover, they also do not stop because every day some problems come. So to do have dukh dhvansa, then you hear the stories, so you feel enlightened. So for that says Vishanna. Vishanno api anyatha shravan dvayam vivarthameva syatiti bhava. So he says even somebody who is distressed, he wants to hear. And why the distress is coming? Because of the kama margani, because of the arrows of material desire, lust, which troubles one. And then he describes in positive sense the utility of our senses. Svabhag yayatasya gunan grinite karau cha tatkarma karau manasya smared vasantam sthirjangameshu shanoti tatpunya katha sakarnaha. So that speech is speech which recites the qualities of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Those hands are hands which perform service to him. That mind is mind who remembers him present in all mobile and immobile beings. And those ears are worth calling as ears which hear the purifying stories of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. So in this way he is describing, and opposite was described by Saunaka Rishi, if you remember in the second canto, I think the second chapter, where he says that those eyes which don't see the form of the Lord are like the plumes of the peacock feather. Those ears which do not hear about him are the holes of a snake, and that speech which do not recite is the speech of the frog, Darduruki eva, Sasuta. So like that, he goes on saying those hands which do not serve him are like the branches of a tree, I think. Shavau karo, they are dead. And those feet which do not walk to temple, they are like the tree trunks. So like that he describes. So that was in Vyatireka. And this is in Anvaya. न केवलं कर्णस्यैव किन्तु कृष्ण संबंधं विना सर्वेषामपि अंगानां वैयर्थ्यम् आह सभागिति. So not only the ears are successful when you hear about Krishna, but all other bodily limbs are also worthless if they are not used in his service. So for that it says Savag Yaksa Gunan Grananti. Anyani Vagadini tu Jiva asti Darduruki eva Suta ityadi Sonakokter Nindyani eva. So other than this, those which are not like this, they are described by Shaunaka Rishi, that the Jiva, the tongue of a person who does not recite his qualities, are like the tongue of a frog and worthless asati. Tat karma karau eva karau dhanyau. And the hands which perform service to him, they are the ones which are fortunate. Stireshu jangameshu vasantam smaret yanmanas tadeva mana. And that mind is worth calling mind which remembers his presence within all beings. Yatra yatra netram patitam tatra tatraiva Krishna smarasilam manaiva dhanyam. So that mind is fortunate. Wherever it falls, everything reminds him of Krishna only. So as Krishna describes his Vibhuti Yoga, so that is also to remember Keshu Keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagwan maya. How can I remember you? So person who is adept at devotion and he sees things around and everything reminds him of Krishna. Smared vasantam tasya bhulingamanam etat tadeva yat pashyati tadhi chakshu angani vishnu arthajjananam padodakam yani bhajanti nityam. And then he says that I think there is something wrong here in the reading in this book, because Smared Vasantam already came there. Previous sloka. Smared Vasantam was already there. Yeah, so he has Sirastu Namet, what is it? Okay. Yes. So Sirastu tasya ubhailingam anamet tadeva yat pashyati tadichaksha. So that head is head which bow down to his form. Ubhailingam, two types, moving and non-moving. And those eyes are eyes which see the form of the Lord in the temple. And angani vishnu rattajjananam padodakam yani bhajanta nityam. And the bodily limbs are those which take the foot wash of Lord and his devotees regularly. Ubhailingam Vishnostajjananam chaiti vyakti bhavitvat. So he gives a different meaning to Ubhailinga. He says Ubhailinga either can refer to the two forms of Bhagavan, because there is a Chalamurti and Achalamurti. Generally in the temple they have the deities which are fixed, and then there are Utsav Murti which are taken out during the festival time. So seeing both of them. But he says that Ubhailinga here means Vishnu and his devotees. Means who bows down to both, to Bhagavan and to the Bhakta. So he says this is because it will be coming later on in the sloka itself. Angani Vishnu Rattajjananam. So from that he takes the clue and gives this meaning. Vishnu pratima rupam cha tadvayameva yat pashyati tadeva chakshu. So he says one who sees the pratima of Vishnu, and that also of two types. So those are the eyes. Angani nabhir urdhvartini tegyani. And the body limbs are those which sprinkle the foot wash on themselves. But he makes a very nice comment. He says that this Charnamrita you put on top, but it is only on the body limbs above the navel, and not on the body limbs below the navel. So that will be disrespect. So therefore he says Angani Nabhir Urdhavartani iti. Sri Suta Vacha. Sri Suta Goswami said, Vishnu Ratena Samprishto Bhagavan Badarayanihi Vasudeve Bhagavati Nimagna Hridaya Bravit. So Sri Suta Goswami said that when Bhagavan Badarayani, means Sukadeva Goswami, was asked like this by Vishnurat, King Parikshit, Vasudeva Bhagavati Nimagna Hridaya Bravit, then Sukadeva's heart became completely absorbed in Bhagavan Sri Krishna, and with that absorption he spoke the following. So Suta Goswami is describing this. Suta Goswami was also describing earlier. It must have been quite difficult for him to describe his father's death, because in the previous chapter he described, so therefore he didn't say much. Right? But he did say that he kept sitting. So he spoke. No comment on this. Sri Shuka Vacha, Sri Sukadeva Goswami replies, Krishnasya asit sakha kaschit brahmano brahmavittamaha virakta indriya artheshu prashantatma jitendriya. So now he describes the story of Krishna's friend whose name was Sudama, sometimes also called Sridama. But interesting thing is that he doesn't take his name here. He says Krishna had some friend, one friend, Kaschit. He didn't say that he had a friend called Sudama, he could have said. But somehow he is avoiding. Maybe he is becoming too emotional. So he says, Sakha, Kaschit Sakha Asit, some friend. He was Brahmana and he was Brahmavittama. So he was knower of the Vedas. He was educated. He studied. He was not illiterate. And he was very renounced person, Virakta. Indriyartheshu Virakta. So then only he could be friend of Krishna, not otherwise. So he had no interest in sense pleasure at all. And he was Prashantatma, therefore if you are free from sense pleasure, then your mind is peaceful, because what disturbs the mind is the sense objects. They are the one which pull away the senses, which are like the horses. Then the senses are running here and there. So he had no such interest. Therefore he was a sthit pragya. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan. So he was like that. And he was jitendriya. He had complete control over his senses. So qualities of Krishna's friend is being described here. No comment on this also. Yadrichayopapannena vartamano grihashrami tasya bharya kuchailasya kshuta samasya tatha vidha. And he lived in his family life, he was married. So whatever he got, Brahmanas as such were not doing any salaried job. So some yajna they do, some dakshina, they get some invitation. So they go there. That's how they lived. No money. So he says yadrichya, by the will of Bhagavan, whatever he got, then he continued to survive like that. And his wife was also like that. And he is called here as Kuchaila. Actually in South India, they call Sudama not as Sudama, they call him Kuchaila only. Which I was surprised, because Kuchaila actually simply means that he had dirty clothes. He had no soap to wash. In fact, he didn't have much clothes. If he washes, what is going to wear? So he is called Kuchaila and Kshutakshama, and he was very emaciated and just like bag of bones, nothing much. And his wife was also like that, husband and wife, because where is the food? So they were malnourished. So tatha vidha tadrisha gunayukta. And the wife was also having qualities just like him. Not only that, she was also emaciated and she also had dirty dress, but she was also learned, renounced, very self-content and having perfect control of the senses. Chakarat kshutshamatvam iti eko gunastu tasmadapi adhikastasya. Or he says that by the word chakara, kshutshama cha, it shows that she had one more extra quality, that she was emaciated more than him. That's the meaning of chakara. Praptam yat kinchid annam tasmai pariveshya swayam kshudaya eva stitatvat iti bhava. Why is that? Because whatever foods they got, first she will feed him, the husband, and if something was left, then she will take that. So therefore she did not get much to eat. Pati vrata patim praha mlayata vadane sa daridra sidamana sa vepamana bhigammicha. So one day she approached the husband, she who was very devoted to the husband, and with a sad face and being very poor and in a very grievous state of mind, while trembling, maybe out of hunger, she spoke to him. Sidamana bhartri bhog sampadana samarthyat sidanti. So she was in grief because she was not able to feed the husband nicely or do good seva. That was her distress, not for herself but for the husband. Vepamana bhagavati bhakti itar prarthana anarhatvat pati bhayena sakampa. And why was she trembling? Because she was scared to say what she would say, because the husband did not want anything else except bhakti. So she was going to plead to him that go and ask something to your friend. We don't have anything here. But she was very scared that he will get upset because he doesn't pray for anything else but for bhakti. So this is the ideal of these people. Not that little bit loss we have, then we start cursing, oh God, why this is happening to me? Why is that I lost my job and I have no money? I'm your devotee. At least arrange for a nice job for me. So not praying like that. So we also read this in Priti Sandarbha, how Jiva Goswami says that devotees don't pray for anything else except for Priti. Nanu Brahman Bhagavataha Sakha Sakshat Shriya Patihi Brahmanyascha Sharanyascha Bhagwan Sattvatarshava. So she approached him and said that, O Brahmana, you are the friend of Bhagwan, Sri Krishna, who is directly the husband of Lakshmi Devi. And not only that, he is very devoted to the Brahmanas, Brahmanya. And not only that, he is Sharanya. He is worthy of taking shelter and he gives shelter. He is Bhagwan, he is Sattvatarshava. So twice she is calling him as Bhagwan, Bhagavata Sakha and Bhagwan Sattvatarshava. So tamupahi mahabhaga sadhunam cha parayanam dasyati dravanam bhuri sidate te kutumbine. So please, O the fortunate one, go to him because he does service to the sadhus, he is their shelter, and he will definitely give you a lot of wealth. We who are in distress and all the family members, they are suffering. Or when he comes to know that our family is suffering, te sidate kutumbane gyatva bhuri dravanam sadasyati. So he will give you wealth. So now nanu Sri Patina Dinasya Mam Kutah Sakhyam. So if he says this, that he is Sripati, he is husband of Lakshmi, and I am indigent, poor guy, so how can we be friends? I have no Lakshmi and he is Lakshmipati, where is the friendship? So then he says, no, he is Brahmanya. He is very devoted to the Brahmanas. Mama tadrasham brahmanyam api nasti. Then he says, well, I am not that kind of Brahmana. I am not some great learned scholar, nothing like that. So then he says, no matter, he is Sharanya. He gives shelter to anyone who approaches him. Bhaktiya bhavat mam sharnagatatvam api nasti chet. He says, but I don't have any bhakti, so what kind of shelter I can have? So then he says, he is Bhagavan. Bhagavan sarvagya taya tav dukkham drishtva daishyati eva. So he says, doesn't matter, you go. Whether you are not a Brahmana, you are not a devotee, nothing, he is sarvagya. And being sarvagya, he will know that you don't have any money, you are suffering. So seeing your suffering, he will give you something. Nanu swakarma phal bhogeshu madvidheshu ananteshu dukhi jiveshu madhya sarvatra sama sa mahyam eva katham dadyat. So he says, what is new about that? There are so many people who are suffering in this material world. Most people are suffering. So they are like me, suffering souls. So and he is equal to all. Samoham sarvabhutesu name dveshosti na priya. So why would he give wealth to me only? What is so special about me? So ichet maivam sattvatam bhaktanam vrishva patiriti. So then he says that he is Sattvatarshava, he is the Lord of the devotees, and that's why he will give you. Samam dadatu nam kintu vyajnadibhistam paricharantam param kripalves tad bhaktastu dashyanti eva iti bhava. Samma dadatu nam. Then she says that don't worry, because he already said he is not a devotee, but he is the Lord of the devotees. So what does that mean? That because he is Lord of the devotees, when you will go and meet him, there will be devotees who will be doing service to him. And devotees are very gracious. So when they will see you, he will not give, but they will give you. Because they are param kripalu. Tad bhaktastu dashanti eva. Satvatan yaduvanshyan sa palyati eva. Tvat palne tasya ko bhara. Moreover, he is Sattvat Rishabha, he is taking he is caring for the Yadavas who are also Satavatas. Satvata means devotee. Satvata also is one clan of Yadavas. So he says he is protecting so many Sattvatas. It is not a burden if he gives you also something. Kova dosho bhavita iti bhava. Therefore, there is nothing wrong if you go and ask him something. You should do that. Aste adhuna dvarvatyam bhoja vrishni andhakeshvaraha smarta padakamlam atmanam api yachati. So he says that at present he is in Dwarka and he should go there, because Sudama may say, well, where will I find him? He sometimes goes to Hastinapur, sometimes other places. What if I walk all the way to his Dwarka and I find out that he is not there? So she is informing Aste Adhuna Dvarvatyam that at present he is in Dwarka. Bhoja Vrishni Andhakeshwara, he is the master of the Bhojas, Vrishnis, Andhakas. And Smarta Pad Kamalam Atmanam Api Achati. Anyone who remembers his lotus feet, he can give himself to such a person. Kintu artha kaman bhasto nati abhishtan jagat guru. But those who are artha kama, means those who want materialistic thing, then he does not give them that. So that's what we are not looking for. Sadhu nam chakarat dina nam cha yadi tom atmanam sadhum ne manase tada dinam tu bhavasi eva. So he says, even if you do not consider yourself as sadhu, then at least you are a dina, and he is dinanatha. So he will give you that. So don't worry. You should go and ask him. Ata siddhate kutumbane iti dan patratvam jyotitam. Since you are in distress, you are definitely qualified to receive charity from him. Nanu sa sampratam indraprasthe dwarkayam va asur marnartham anyatra kwapi aste va tatraha aste iti dvar. If Sudama says, well, at present he could be in Hastinapur, he could be in Indraprastha, Dwarka, wherever. He may have gone somewhere to kill the Asuras. He also went to Bihar, Magad, to kill Jarasandha. So she said, no, he is in Dwarka now. Adhuna nyasta shastra swanagrad anyatra nayati. So at present he is there. At present means that now he has given up fighting completely, and therefore he is there in his own place. He does not go anywhere. Bhoj Vrishni Andhakeshwara iti tat svikar matrena tepi dasyanti bhava. And he is the Lord of the Bhoja, Andhaka and Vrishnis. So he says, if you accept him, then even they will give you. Nanu tadapi dhanam prarthayitum aham lajje tatraha smartayati. Then he says, well, I am very shy to ask for wealth from my friend. So he says, don't ask, just remember his lotus feet. That is good enough. Chaturthi arthe shashti smarna matram kurvate. So this smarta is in sixth case. It should be smarate. So the sixth case is used in the sense of the fourth case. Janaya aprarthakaya api swam atmanam dadati kim punarakaman parinam virasatvat. He says that he gives those who do not ask him, apararthakaya swamatmanam api dadati. They do not beg anything. He gives then what to speak those who are akama, have no desire. Parinam virasatvat, because there is no bad effect of any transformation. Thinking that they are asking for this, they are asking for that, I should give this or not give it. Nothing like that, because you are not asking for anything. Datum nati abhishtan, yato jagatam gurur hit karta. Yachkanam tu ichchaya tan aprarthito api datte. So he is the person who does welfare to the world because he is Jagat Guru, which means he will give you even without asking. So don't have this fear that you will not be able to ask. You don't need to ask. He says, Yachka nam tu ichchaya tan aprarthito api datte. Those who are beggars, then even if they don't ask, he gives. Tena tatra gatva tva tushnim evasthayam satu tvad abhishtam bahudhanam tvad hitkaritvat svabhishtam svacharan padam madhuryam cha dashyati iti dyotita. Therefore you go there and don't ask anything, just remain silent, and he himself will give you. Not only that he will give you a lot of wealth which we want, but he will also give what you want. Actually, which we want means which I am looking for. But you said you don't want anything but bhakti. So he says that he will also give that. Svacharan padma madhuryam cha dasyati. He will also give the sweetness of his feet to you. Saivam bharyaya vipro bahusha prarthito mridu ayam hi parmo labha uttama shloka darshanam. So in this way, when he was implored by his wife repeatedly, bahusha, this means not that he heard it once and then he decided. No, the wife kept on pushing. Some wives do that. Mostly. Okay. Sujani says mostly. So Saivam Bharyaya Vipro Bahusha Prarthito. Repeatedly, again and again. So he agreed because he was mridu. He was soft-hearted. Or mridu prarthita. Means gently, as they say, gentle reminder. These days it's custom to say just a gentle reminder. So gently, see, mridu prarthita. So why did he agree? He says, he thought that okay, I will go this way, I will get the opportunity to see him. Uttama shloka. He says this is the ultimate benefit of life that I will get the opportunity to have darshan of Sri Krishna. So it is with this intention he is going. Not that he wants to go and beg some money from him. So the story will continue. We'll stop here if there is any question.
Babaji, is it mentioned anywhere that where is Sudamaji was living? At what place?
It's not mentioned. Somewhere in Gujarat. Or who knows, Madhya Pradesh. At least here I didn't see anywhere. Yeah.
So was the yagya where Balaram killed Romaharshana, was it the same where Sutta speaks the Bhagavatam?
Yeah. Speaks to the same people. Saunakadi Rishi. Same audience. He was installed in the same seat where his father used to sit and speak.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Babaji,
Bhushan, yes.
is there a gap between Romaharshana and Sutta Goswami coming?
No.
Because Sutta Goswami, he already hears Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami and then comes to Rishis. So then I don't understand how it is.
Yeah,
I mean, how the chronology goes.
Yeah, he heard it.
But then Romaharshana was much earlier.
No, but this recitation did not happen immediately. He heard and immediately
that
spoke.
is.
There's a time gap. Bhushan.
Babaji pronounce. When it is said that both Sudama Brahman and his wife, although they were emaciated and did not have enough food, and that they had the senses in control, so is it that this characters of glorification of Sudama Brahman and his wife, or is it like generally during Dwapara Yuga people could live without enough food, somehow Brahmanas could live without enough food in general, or is it specific only to Sudama and his wife?
Brahmanas were generally poor because, as I spoke in my Gita class yesterday, that their focus was not wealth at all. Unlike present day, Brahmanas are very rich, and they're, at least many of them, on good posts or doing good business. Because they're intelligent, so they're using their intelligence now in a different field. But in the past, they were not devoted at all to making money. So therefore, generally they were poor. That's why this whole story that because Bhrigu kicked Vishnu on his chest, which is the abode of Lakshmi, so Lakshmi cursed them that Brahmanas will be poor. But I think that curse does not apply in Kali Yuga. Somehow they were pacified her. So now it's okay. But in general, Dronacharya also was poor. He also didn't have enough money. But you hear many stories of Brahmanas like that.
Babaji, may I ask a follow-up to that?
Yeah.
Babaji, if I don't eat, there's no comparison, but if I don't eat, I cannot focus. What to speak of sense control and studying things. So I was just wondering, how is it possible for them to kind of function, their mind to function in the reasonable way that they're thinking all of this while they were like malnourished or like not enough food? Is there something special about them, or why would Brahmanas be poor? Because if you don't have enough food, how will you study? Because that is my doubt.
Yeah, at present you cannot understand it because people don't have the concept of Brahmana. See, this is their swabhava, samadabhas tatapes titiksha arjavam. So this is swabhavajam. Brahma karma swabhavajam. Nature is like that. It's not something you are told and then you do it. It's like now the nature of people is to make money. So it is swabhavaja now, the swabhava is changed. Now you don't have to tell people that you should make money. They naturally have the tendency. Even if they have enough, still they want to make more. So previously it was like that. So samadama tapat diksha kshanti arjavam evacha. So roads.
Pranam Babaji. My question is, if one is aspiring for bhakti, but one also feels the need to make some money, what is the correct way to think of Bhagavan while making money, or more generally to involve Bhagavan in making money? Because I was thinking, one way to involve Bhagavan in making money would be to ask Bhagavan for money. But if one doesn't want to do that, and one's making money some other way, what's the correct way to make sure Bhagavan's involved in the process in some manner?
No, you make money and then you say that I'm making money so that I can live and do service to Bhagavan. I can do my japa, I can attend classes, I can read, I can do seva to the deities. But for that I need money, so I make money. So I'm making for his seva.
I know some people who have like a deity in their house, and they run their whole household around the deity. But I'm not like at that level. I don't have a deity. I wouldn't be able to properly take care of a deity or anything. So I can just think about it for my japa and reading and stuff like that. Like it doesn't have to. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.